Lights out, Formula E is go with four-wheel drive traction, and it's Pascal Wehrlein battling away with Oliver Rowland, and Oliver Rowland on the inside for Nissan has got the edge into turn one. Oliver Rowland leads, big battle behind Jake Dennis, side by side there with Max Günther, and Günther is trying to take that third place. I think he probably has from Jake Dennis. Remember, this is early stages of the race. You want to try and get into a little bit of clear space, but you don't necessarily want to be pulling away out in front and using too much electrical power. So try and settle in. We've got a freeway battle. Oh my goodness, that's all getting very tight. And this is one of the tight corners where it can go wrong.
Oh, big crash there.
That's a safety car for sure.
Nico Müller and Jake Hughes, that is.
Yeah, Nico Müller is the one on the inside, Jake Hughes on the outside with the Maserati. The two of them have come together. And now we've got a change for the lead between the two Porsches, because Da Costa going down the inside, but Pascal Wehrlein will not give it up. They are racing. This is proper racing, even at this stage in the race. And now, actually, Ollie Rowland is going for it already. I thought it might be longer, but he's gone for a 6-minute attack.
Oh, Jake Dennis, issue there.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Like a technical issue.
Oh, well, that is a great shame, because he has been running extremely well in this race, Jake Dennis.
So this red flag is, of course, because Jake Dennis had a red car. Now this, for everyone at home, this means that the car is unsafe. Nobody can touch the car. There's an isolation issue. So it's something that, for safety purposes, it's better to red flag the race.
For the second time today in São Paulo in Brazil, lights out, we're racing once again, and again it's a good start from Oliver Rowland, I think. Oliver Rowland in the red and white Nissan has definitely got off the line well, and he's going to retake the lead. Yes, he is, from Antonio Felix da Costa, but Max Günther goes round the outside, and then on the inside, Max Günther moves up into second place.
Oliver Rowland is under investigation for overpower. This is something we saw strike down the other three Nissan powertrains earlier on in the race.
Down the inside, Nick Cassidy takes it.
Let's go.
This could be very good news indeed for Nick Cassidy and for Jaguar, because he's got past the second place car, and we know the leader is under an investigation. We do not know yet if there's going to be a penalty for him.
You were over 1% up on like both the three of them.
Wow, this is all coming together for Jaguar superbly at the moment. He's got up into what is third. Potentially, it could be second if Rowland does get the penalty.
He's in the podium position, having started dead last in this race.
Incredible. Listen to Rowland.
Do I have a drive-through?
Yes, mate, drive-through. Well, serve it this lap.
Oh, we have now learnt he does have a drive-through, Oliver Rowland, and that means that Jaguar are running 1 and 2.
Who would have bet on this happening?
You're on board with Mitch Evans right now. It's a go moment, there's no doubt about it. He's coming up to try and go past his teammate Nick Cassidy. He's got the extra power. It's easy. He sweeps past. Remember, this is not the race over, and he is about to run out of that extra power, and then it could go down to a battle between them without either of them having the extra power. But will the team allow that? Oh no, contact! Oh,
that's Günther in the wall there on the exit turn 5.
Oh my God, rolled over.
So they're not to do anything silly.
Big crash there for one of the, I think it was one of the Porsches. I really hope it's okay. I think I saw a car upside down. I did.
Let's have a look, guys, at the accident that took place. Oh, my goodness.
Oh. It was a huge impact.
This is the restart of the race, probably the final start with added laps as well. 4 added laps, so we've still got plenty more to play with here. Mitch Evans is the race leader. He's under attack from Antonio Felix da Costa as they come down into the first corner, but it's all pretty straightforward so far. Third place, Taylor Barnard in the Neon McLaren, chased by Sam Bird. Oh, look at this, Da Costa going one way then the other, trying to take the lead from Mitch Evans, but Evans controlling it beautifully.
Taylor can go, he can win this. He's got to go though, because I'm going to get pressure from behind if he doesn't.
We're coming down into that section where Sam Bird took the win last year. Let's see how this goes.
There could be a big lift here on the last corner like last year.
Barnard had nowhere to go.
Yeah, nowhere to go. Mitch Evans is still there. It looks good for Mitch Evans. Mitch Evans is heading through the final corner, and it looks as though the man who started at the very back wins in São Paulo. Remarkable. He started 22nd and last at the original start of this race, and Mitch Evans has taken victory. Wonderful stuff from him. Let's just confirm the positions then. Mitch Evans the winner by 0.3 of a second from Felix da Costa, with Taylor Barnard in third. Sam Bird in fourth ahead of Edo Mutara, Norman Nato and De Vries. Boemi, Ticktum, Verne completed the top 10.
5 red lights are on. It's go in Mexico. Good start from Verline. Great start from da Costa, who immediately tries to chop over on his teammates. Side by side they run down towards the first turn. Who gets the position? It's Pascal Verline. And look at John Verne going around the outside and trying to. Off onto the grass there is Mitch Evans. Just about manages to keep it facing in the right direction. And on the straight and narrow, up the inside, we're looking in towards turn 3. Evans on the inside there of the DS Penske. We ride on board here with Oliver Rowland. In fourth position at the moment, down in towards the hairpin section we go, and moves being made there on the outside. That's Jake Dennis trying to have a look on the Nissan, but no way through for him as it all bunches up through there.
Very clean run through there for everybody. Didn't see any front wings going off or anyone really going wide apart from Evans, so a good clean start as they head towards the chicane.
Let's see what happened to Ticktum on the opening lap. So it's Maloney that got into the side of Hughes, then into Ticktum subsequently as well. It's a shame there for Dan Ticktum, and he's actually in the pit lane now as well. Into turn 3, Rowland, Verline all defending and going for that tighter line on the apex of the corner. Rowland now about to exit the attack mode, team ready for da Costa.
Can I pass Pascal if I get there? A-firm, Rowland.
And da Costa does.
Well, no, he's past Rowland because Rowland's out of attack mode. So that's a classic move we're going to see again and again, is traction. Four-wheel drive, you can accelerate better, and now he's gone past Verline as well. So da Costa now up into second place, and he should take the lead off the E3 in the next lap or so, because he'll get another lap and a half of attack mode.
And just looking at who's used the right amount of attack mode, or different amounts, Jake Dennis used 4 minutes, da Costa is using his first 4 minutes as well. So if da Costa passes Jake Dennis on track, they've used the same amount of attack mode, so that will be for track position.
So coming through the Perotada we go, and this should be quite easy for Antonio Felix da Costa to set it up. He's got four-wheel drive, he's got extra power underneath his right foot. It's a good exit though for Jake Dennis, but I don't think it's going to be anything to thwart the challenge here. Dennis goes for the defensive line, and da Costa has to live and fight another day. Can't make a move into that first corner. Could be about the exit coming out of it though, and look at that, there we go. Da Costa goes back through and into the race lead. Da Costa into the attack mode there, but coming out crucially ahead of Pascal Verline, so that's working out quite nicely for him then.
Yeah, da Costa managing to stay ahead of his teammate, but interestingly, that Porsche have chosen to let him take attack mode on that lap, because Pascal Verline, he's only got about 45 seconds more attack mode at the minute to use than Jake Dennis.
Be patient, you don't need to pass him on this lap. You can do it when he runs out of energy. You should have an advantage. So sit back, bank the energy for when you need it to actually get past.
Smart strategy then from him, but he's going for the move.
waiting.
Yeah, up the inside into turn 12 goes Antonio Felix da Costa to take the lead of the race away. Back from Jake Dennis into the stadium we go, and no way that Dennis can retaliate, so it's Porsche's first and third with the Andretti Porsche now of Jake Dennis in second position here. Yellow turn 12, that's David Beckman in the Cupra Kiro, who's gone into the wall, not for the first time this weekend.
Safety car's been deployed.
There we go, so safety car is deployed then.
Watch the restart, because he can accelerate with the four-wheel drive now. Watch him go. Yeah, we're on board with Rowland. Watch when he puts the power down. Can he out-drag Jake Dennis down towards turn 1?
This is going to be easy, surely, for him. Green light is on then, and we go side by side. Oliver Rowland on the inside of Jake Dennis, down into the first corner. The Briton up through and into third place. Next target, the two Tag Heuer Porsches. A golden opportunity falling into the hands of the Nissan team, and a possible opportunity at victory sending their way. And Rowland's taking advantage of it. it. He's trying to find his way through on the inside. He lunges up to the underneath Pascal Wehrlein and goes through into turn 5 and turn 6, and now he's going to have the traction advantage on Antonio Felix da Costa here as well. Da Costa knows that. He defends into turn 9, but surely Roland's going to be able to try and find his way through. Oh, contact there between them. Roland on board we ride, and now he's going to have the advantage of traction, and Da Costa tries everything he can to defend, but Roland is through and into the lead at turn 12. Oliver Roland in the Nissan leads, and to the delight of the Nissan team, it is now a golden opportunity for the Britain to try and take the victory, but there's another safety car here. What's happened? It's Mitch Evans, I think. So bottlenecks up there through him, and then back over to the Andretti, actually, I beg your pardon. Wasn't it? It was, yeah. As we come through into the stadium section, it'd have to be a Dan-dare move on the inside, and I don't think Da Costa is going to have the opportunity to lunge through. He has a half look as it's all concertinas up through the stadium, past the fans, and it's nose-to-tail action. It's going to come down to the final corner of this race, and Da Costa is trying everything he can to get his way through on the Nissan, but round the Peraltada we go for the final time. Energy is absolutely critical here in this one, but it is going to be surely a first victory ever in Mexico City for Oliver Roland and Nissan. Absolutely sensational for the Britain. Da Costa in second, Wehrlein in third, just ahead of Jake Dennis. What a drive, what an opportunity, what a race from Oliver Roland. So let's get confirmation then. Oliver Roland takes the win from Antonio Felix da Costa by just 0.4 of a second ahead of Pascal Wehrlein. Great job from Jake Dennis and also the two DS Penske's, Jean-Eric Vergne and Max Günther with points on the board. Stoffel van Dorn, 2 races for Maserati and 2 points finishes as well. Nick de Vries also getting some points for Mahindra there down in 8th position. Nico Müller and Taylor Barnard completing the points scorers here today. 5 red lights about to come on then, a double header in Jeddah is go. Good start from Maximilian Günther, not bad also from Pascal Wehrlein. He chops over on Oliver Roland down towards the first turn. Look at Mitch Evans on the outside there in the Jaguar. The inside is Oliver Roland. Günther leads from Wehrlein. Roland looking for the outside line through turn 2, and problems there for the number 8 of Sam Bird. He's spun round, facing the wrong way, and is right at the back of the field. Up through into turn 4. They are all going 2 by 2. De Vries there on the inside of Jake Hughes, managing to get the better of the Maserati, but a clean start there for the DS Penske, and contact into turn 5. That is the Porsche coming into some strife of Pascal Wehrlein.
Yeah, it was Mitch Evans who ran in the back of him there on the braking for that turn 5 corner. Evans has dropped back a bit, but look, he's got damage to the front left bodywork and more contact there into the turn 8 chicane.
Yeah, a couple of cars going off into the runoff area down at the bus stop chicane then, so a dramatic start to the race and the yellow flag as well.
Pascal Wehrlein reporting a rear right puncture, Tom. So Mitch Evans got damage on the front left, but Wehrlein, another title contender, reporting a rear left puncture. Let's have a look at this replay here. So this was the start.
Evans on the outside here, just going side by side there with Roland. It bottlenecks up into turn 2. That's where Bird gets spun around at the back as well. He manages to get going, but it's further up ahead. This is where it all kicks off. So he just plants himself into the back of Wehrlein. Wehrlein goes off with the puncher, but I wonder if there was secondary contact down at turn 8 there for Mitch Evans, because that front wing damage wasn't caused by that instant there with, so he plants it into the back of De Vries as well. Let's have a look and see what happened here to Nico Müller. So he's right behind Wehrlein. This is where, look, he's just catapulted over the back of Da Costa. De Vries looking on the inside for third place against Taylor Barnard down at turn 13. The Mahindra is up through and into the podium positions for the first time then.
This is where he needs to play it cool, because once it starts getting busy, he's getting another bit of contact.
Yeah, crunch of carbon fibre, it becomes a bit of a traffic jam. And here we go for Max Günther releasing Oliver Roland into the race lead.
He's struggling to follow me in fast corners.
And here we go then.
Here we go, Günther and De Vries are in. So now we need to watch out for these two cars, where they come out relative to Hughes and Barnard. They were in the race together. Let's remember, Günther was running second, De Vries was running third. De Vries has jumped ahead of Günther.
Yeah.
So Günther's had a poor stop.
Okay, Max, delta 3 clicks, push on exit.
And he's come out behind Barnard as well, so Gunther's lost 2 places in that round of stops, and Barnard goes for the inside and gets ahead. Great move. Taylor Barnard up 2 places around the pit stops.
Fantastic job there for Barnard and for the Neon McLaren team seemingly then here. So Gunther, the big loser in all of that, being jumped by Mortara as he came out of the pit lane. Roland into the box then here, so he's going for his pit boost stop. Also, we're going to see some other drivers going through. We're going to see Maximilian Gunther on the inside then of Antonio Felix da Costa down into turn 8.
So where's Roland going to feed out? This was the race leader.
It works out perfectly. That's because of the early attack mode that he made. He was in clear air, wasn't he, able to build that gap out before the pit boost cycle started for him, and it's paid off quite handsomely, seemingly, for Oliver Roland here. So Roland it is now that leads, and he's got 4 seconds over Jake Hughes Barnard. So this is the real battle going on for second place behind, and you can see there that De Vries in attack mode sends it through on the inside of Verne down to the first corner. The Mahindra now up through and into 4th position. Now is the time where the field is bunched up, that it could pay dividends here for Max Gunther to try and make those moves, as we see De Vries sending it to the inside of Hughes for second into the chicane and gets it done nice and easy.
Gunther gets ahead of Hughes on this straight. Hughes having to lift off the throttle pedal and save some energy.
Look at that, Gunther straight through on Nick De Vries down in towards turn 8. So the German driver is now ahead of the Dutchman.
Less than 1 second now between the leaders.
And Roland will be trying to defend as hard as he possibly can here, but is it all going to be in vain, because Gunther is going for the sweeping line around the outside. Is he going to make it stick into the bus stop? No, not quite through there. We'll live to fight another day with Oliver Roland in the lead, but he's a man under pressure, and it seems to be a case of when and not if we're going to see Max Gunther attacking for the race lead against the Briton here. 3 drivers potentially battling for the lead on the final lap. Roland, Gunther, and now Taylor Barnard. 3 different drivers, 3 different manufacturers and teams. This is going to be absolutely thrilling to the end of this one. Here comes Gunther, looking at the outside, into the bus stop chicane, tries to switch it back, but Roland's got the line covered again.
And we're taking any opportunities.
Only 2 chicanes to go, Tom.
This is absolutely critical there for Oliver Roland, so he's counting down the energy. Look at the graphic on the left-hand side of your screen, and this is going to be absolutely nose-to-tail action between 4 drivers for the victory in this run. Is Max Gunther going to go for the lunge on the outside against Oliver Roland? He does, and Gunther goes through and into the lead at the final couple of corners of this race. Out of it now, the DS Penske driver wins here in Jeddah. It's Max Gunther on top from Oliver Roland, Taylor Barnard and Nick De Vries. What a grandstand finish we've had here in Jeddah. Here's confirmation of the results. Round 3, the Jeddah E-Prix. Max Gunther wins ahead of Oliver Roland and Taylor Barnard. Nick De Vries in 4th position ahead of Jake Hughes in P5. Then it's Jean-Eric Verne, Edo Mortara making it a double Mahindra points finish. Sam Bird also sneaking his way up into 8th position. Antonio Felix da Costa, he was in the wars throughout that one, coming across the line in 9th place. A couple of points on the board there for the Tag Heuer Porsche team. And Stoffel van Dorn in the Maserati, also making it a double points finish for the Monaco-based outfit. It's time to send it in Saudi Arabia as the lights go out and we go racing. Good start from Barnard, great also for Jake Hughes as he chops over and gets the better of Oliver Roland down towards the first corner. Into turn 1, Hughes into second, Barnard retains the lead, 3 abreast further behind there as well with Nick De Vries in the middle. Da Costa making some ground on the inside of Edo Mortara, and Mortara shuffled down into 5th position there. And bang on the inside, that's Max Gunther careering into Antonio Felix da Costa down at turn 4.
Yeah, just sent it too hard, not enough grip, and then a clear T-bone. There'll be a penalty for that.
Yeah, Da Costa's caused damage as well. You can see the car crabbing. It's just driving at an angle. So we did say it's going to be more wheel banging. I didn't expect it to happen as early as turn 4, but it just seemed completely overambitious there from Gunther on the inside.
Yeah, not the first time we've seen incidents on the opening lap. It was a bit of a chaotic start to yesterday's E-Prix, and so it proves to be 24 hours later. The upshot is it's Barnard then that leads now from Jake Hughes. Sam Bird up into 4th place. So he's made some good progress from 7th on the grid. Let's have another look at what happened then down into turn 4. So keep an eye out for a fast entering DS Penske.
Yeah, he completely misjudged with tire temps, everything, and I don't think actually it started out as a pass. It very much was how do I avoid the collision?
Yeah, it's nothing that Da Costa did wrong there.
What a shame for Antonio Felix da Costa. Look at this side-by-side action here. Sam Bird's getting roughed up and a bit intimate there with Dan Ticktum down at the chicane.
As Oliver Rowland now takes a turn at the front.
Robin Freins with the extra 50 kilos with four-wheel drive. He's going to get 2 for the price of 1. The supermarket deal for Freins as he takes the lead of the race. Team radio for Hughes.
Okay, we target Roland.
So team radio there has all got a bit close into the first corner. Werner was having a look on the inside of Evans. That's now left him vulnerable here with Hughes looking for the outside line. 1-2 positions gained there for Hughes in the Maserati in one corner, and now possibly a third position because he's going through on Taylor Barnard.
Rowland, I think, is going to go for attack mode. Yep, he's on the outside, so he's going to come out still ahead of Taylor Barnard, is he?
Just about, yeah, third.
Rowland has gone for only 2 minutes of attack mode now, which means he will have 6 to use later on. Could he save 6 minutes as he takes the lead now, bank the energy, and then have 6 minutes to attack at the end of the race? Nissan giving Rowland the gap to Dennis, which is interesting. They just said to him, you're 1.6 to Dennis. Maybe they look at the energy numbers and think that Dennis is the real threat because he's the only one who's in a similar energy window.
Look at this. One place done there for him. We've got a yellow flag out down at turn
Barnard
14.
a bit deep.
Yeah, he is a little bit deep there, instead of Barnard, isn't he? Just a yellow flag out down at turn 14, now clear, so only a brief on there, but this is the advantage here for Jake Dennis, up through and into second position. Couple of minutes left of attack mode here. I think he's going to go for the lead here on Oliver Rowland. I don't think there'll be much that Rowland can do. On the inside we go, through into turn 13. Dennis into the lead, Rowland into attack mode. Where's he going to come out? It'll be behind Barnard, but ahead of Nick Cassidy then.
Right, watch Rowland here, because I think this is where he's going to go for the lead, and that could be the key moment where Rowland sets himself up for the win.
Vern trying to use the extra energy. Team radio here.
Okay, you need to make sure you don't overspend too much in the attack, mate. They're slightly down to all other cars.
Yeah, that's the problem there for Vern, isn't it? He wants to use the attack mode, but he can't. Look at this. Barnard, 2 for the price of 1 down into the chicane, and Dennis relegated down 2 positions.
If Hughes wants to get on the podium, he's got about a minute to get past Jean-Eric Verne and try and get himself onto the back of Taylor Barnard. So he's done 1.
Oh, big moment over the curb there for Taylor Barnard. Got it all out of shape. He's pushing on. Barnard goes for the defensive line. Side by side we go down the start-finish straight. Hughes on the outside, Barnard on the inside. 2 by 2 they run. Barnard's not giving this one up. Forces Hughes to the run-off area. Back onto the track we go. And Barnard still retains second place. Third it is for Hughes. Is he going to have a look on the exit of turn 4 and set something up? Takes a wider sweeping line through there. Can he use the extra advantage of four-wheel drive? No, not quite into turn 5, but more movement underneath there for Barnard. He's wide. Through into the right hand and we go.
Okay, use your 350 to get him.
This is the moment here for Jake Hughes. It's pretty close, and look at Dennis on the outside. 3 abreast, almost down into turn 13. Verne on the inside, Dennis on the outside, and Dennis is going to go the long way round and get the better of Jean-Eric Verne. And Hughes parks the car on the apex. Dennis with the room on the inside and through and into 4th position there for Jake Dennis. And Hughes absolutely critical for the final place on the podium here. Oliver Rowland takes the victory in spectacular style in Saudi Arabia. What a win from the Briton. But where are the podium positions and who gets them? It's Taylor Barnard in second. Jake Hughes does hold on to 3rd place ahead of Jake Dennis. What an absolutely fantastic final lap in Formula E. Oliver Rowland takes his 2nd win of season 11. So then, results from round 4 of the Jeddah E-Prix. It's Oliver Rowland who wins ahead of Taylor Barnard and Jake Hughes. British drivers 1st, 2nd and 3rd on the podium for the first time in history, but Jake Dennis also making it a 1, 2, 3, 4. Nick Cassidy finally gets his points tally off to a start with 5th place ahead of Stoffel Van Dorn. Jean-Eric Verne, he'll feel a bit disappointed and a missed opportunity. Verline managed to get his way through from the doldrums into 8th place ahead of Dan Ticktum. Couple of points on the board for Cooper Kiro. It's time for magic in Miami as lights go out and we go racing. Great start from Jake Dennis. Not bad from Norman Nato. Keep an eye out as well for Da Costa on the inside as well as De Vries looking to try and squeeze Robin Freins down to the first corner. But Nato it is that leads. Are they all going to be facing in the right direction as they come through the first corner? Looks like it was a pretty good start for everybody, at least in the front half of the field. The upshot is, though, it's Nato that still retains the lead. On the inside there is Da Costa against Jake Dennis coming through into turn 4. Dennis has got the inside line. Da Costa holds the line around the outside and gets himself up through in the Tag Heuer Porsche into into second.
Antonio Felix da Costa, he seems to be the one who's most under control in this race. He's hitting all of his minimum speeds. He's not in the Constantina effect. I think the guys actually in 7th, 8th, 9th, we see them getting compromised, especially when we get to the chicane. They keep fighting each other, and that's only going to be to their detriment as the race continues.
We see John-Eric Vergne having another moment in the chicane and making contact with one of the Andretti's there.
Yeah, that was Nico Müller that he just had a bit of a side swipe there with. So he got too deep on the brakes, nearly plummeted into the back of Mitch Evans, and then compromised Nico Müller and also, to an extent, Ollie Rowland. Verline looking on the inside, nearly 3 abreast down into turn 8. Müller still side by side here with Norman Nato. We're right on board with Pascal Verline, who's going to try and pick the pocket of 1, maybe 2 drivers through 9 into turns 10 and 11. Verline's up through and into 3rd place.
You might see da Costa now, yes. I think if he had to do that, he had to push for it because he can now follow Pascal.
Yeah, and he's come out ahead, crucially, there of Mortara, so that's worked out really nicely for da Costa. Good team tactics from Tag Heuer Porsche. Pace is now beginning to pick up, isn't it? We were 129.8 last time around with that rolling start, but look at the gap.
Big crash in the background of the chicane.
Yep, down at the chicane, we've got Jake Hughes in some problems there as well with Max Günther, and that could be a safety car, and it is. 3 cars involved, as a matter of fact, because Mitch Evans is also involved in the mire. Let's have a look what happened then here. So it's further back in the pack. You can see Jake Hughes. So he had contact there with Günther. Evans with nowhere to go. 3 into 1, definitely doesn't mix. Look, we've got a red flag actually. There could be a benefit for some. 5 red lights are about to come on then here in Miami. The restarted race with da Costa on pole position is go. As they head down towards the first corner, good start from Verline on the outside. Keep an eye out for De Vries as well as he tries to move over on the inside and splits the 2 Tag Heuer Porsche. So da Costa it is that lead, side by side there with De Grassi versus Norman Nato in towards turn 2. De Grassi's on the inside, Nato's trying to firm it around the outside. Snap of oversteer there for him, and Bird as well keeping a watching brief, but he's got 6 minutes of attack mode remaining as he just kisses the back of De Grassi into attack mode. Go the remaining drivers, they've got absolutely no choice, and look at how messy it gets into there as well. De Vries almost coming to a complete stop down at turn 4.
I think Pascal is going to get this. I think he's going to have such an advantage with the 4-wheel drive. He's going to drive past Antonio. I'm going to feel very sorry for Antonio if he loses the win to Pascal for this.
Out of turn 4 into the straight we go. It's very close indeed between the 2 Tag Heuer Porsches. They go side by side. Da Costa on the inside, Verline on the outside into the braking zone of turn 6. Verline with attack mode and with 4-wheel drive traction underneath him, goes through and into the lead. Is he now going to drive away from Antonio Felix da Costa? Is da Costa's 2nd place under threat? Because here comes Robin Freins looking for the outside line into turn 8, and this is going to be easy pickings then for Robin Freins, who goes through and up into 2nd position. But he's got, of course, 5 minutes of attack mode remaining. That's the converse of it. He's going to have to lift off and wait for the end of this race.
It seems like these guys have come to the conclusion they're just going to go for it and use the attack mode. If they cross the line with attack mode left, they'll take the sporting penalty, because the rate they're going, I can't see how they're going to make the finish line and have used all their attack mode.
Look at this, 4 abreast down into turn 8. The McLaren there on the inside.
You will need to fight him out. You will need to fight him up. Try to pull away if you can.
There we go, De Grassi past da Costa. That's a big move for the Lola Yamaha app team.
Don't do anything silly, they will get penalty. They have too much attack mode remaining.
And his race engineer Fabrice Roussel there just saying exactly what we've been echoing in the commentary box then. So out of the final corner we go, and across the line it's going to be Pascal Verline, who surely will take victory. Who's going to get it first on the road? Nato takes first on the road, Verline in 2nd, Freins in 3rd, Rowland in 4th and Bird in 5th position. De Grassi comes over the line in 6th with Da Costa down there in 7th place, who really did not pay benefits for him then. Unsurprisingly, there's going to be a plethora of investigations because we had 5 drivers still actively in attack mode at the end of that race. Let's get confirmation of the results, though, at the end of round 5 for the Miami E-Prix. Pascal Verline it is who takes his first win of season 11 ahead of Lucas Di Grassi taking his first podium in over 35 races. Da Costa making a double Tag Heuer Porsche podium ahead of Nico Müller in the Andretti for that team's home race. Eder Mortara in 5th in the Mahindra ahead of Nato, Ticktum, Freins, Dennis, and then Zane Maloney on the fringes of the top 10. 2 penalties there for Nato and for Freins for attack mode misusage. 5 red lights are about to come on as we wait to see who will be the master in Monaco as the lights go out and we go racing. Roland chops over on Dan Tickton as Barnard leads them down towards the first corner. Look at the freaks on the outside in the Mahindra. Side-by-side action there further back. They go 2x2 through Saint-Devant, up the rise of Massenet and into Beau Rivage and Casino Square. It's Barnard who leads from pole position at the front of this race.
So Barnard back in the back.
Oh, I thought he was going to get his nose cut off there, but it's left him vulnerable here to Evans, who's now got the outside line, which will turn into the inside line down into Mirabeau. Tickton's really holding firm on the outside. Is he going to manage to retain that place still against Mitch Evans? And somehow he does.
Oh,
goes to
crash.
Yeah. Oh, big one. There's the Porsche. That's the Costa, I think, in the wall. It is Antonio Felix da Costa out of the race in spectacular style. That changes the complexion of this race completely.
3, 2, 1, full course yellow, please. Full course yellow ending in 5, 4, 3, 2.
So full course yellow ends then, the green flag flies on lap 11, and look at that opportunist for Jake Dennis as he goes through on 2 drivers. So through into Tabac we go. Barnard, Roland, Dennis, that's your top 3. De Vries down to 4th place and Verline in 5th position. That's the advantage of being a bit further down the order. Look at Roland trying on the inside against Taylor Barnard into the swimming pool chicane. Barnard takes to the escape road. That's going to cost Roland potentially some momentum and maybe a possibility at track position here too.
Watch Roland. Roland going for the move.
Down into the swim pool chicane, then into the Nouvelle chicane we go, and Barnard again takes to the escape road.
Slam dunk, he's gained advantage, he's got to give the place now. There you go, he's responded to that.
So Roland hits the front for the first time in this race.
And yellow flag.
Yeah, yellow flag down at turn 7.
Mitch Evans has stopped.
Oh, Mitch Evans has come to a halt. So Roland there looking for the outside line, turns to the inside, as he knows, but Barnard's got it covered off.
He'll get him now.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, but that's cost them both a little bit of time in that battle for the group behind.
So Roland hits the front with 4-wheel drive and 350 kilowatts of power. Into the box comes Edo Mortara for Mahindra then.
When these drivers come into pit, where do they feed out? Because the ones we're watching are Barnard and Dennis, wouldn't it?
It would.
But I tell you, the one who's gained is Nico Muller, don't forget. Because Muller has pitted. Muller's actually effectively ahead of Barnard and Dennis, isn't he? Because he's already pitted.
Across the timeline we go. Cassidy's going to be under threat from Dennis, Verline and Barnard, all of whom are in attack mode. Muller it is that still leads. Now De Vries into second at the expense of Oliver Roland. Look at Barnard there on the outside of Verline. Side by side they go. It's chicane contact and Barnard into the barrier. Taylor Barnard, the pole sitter, looks to be out of this race.
I think he's reversing.
Yeah, we need to see that. Let's see. He's trying to get out of it. There we go. Well, as you were just saying about safety car, that's the risk, isn't it? And Nissan are playing as De Vries goes round the outside.
Makes it stick. He's into the lead. Is Nick De Vries then here? De Vries a bit of a sitting duck because he has got 2-wheel drive compared to the 4-wheel drive of Dennis, but he's coming to the end of that deployment now, and we head in towards Raskas. Dennis surely is going to have to try and find his way through.
He's out of attack mode, so this is, he's got no more attack mode to go. Now, this is a straight fight in terms of power and drive. Can Dennis still make the move? Roland's coming. Watch Roland up into 3rd.
Yeah, this is going to do well for Oliver Roland. He's pulled this one out of the bag. 4 laps to go then here at Monaco, and it's anybody's guess as to who is going to be the victor. We come up the hill and Oliver Roland muscles his way through on the Andretti and goes into 2nd place. Brilliant stuff from Oliver Roland. The strategy so far is working out perfectly for the Briton.
Watch Roland now. Coming through into Portier. Out of Portier, into the tunnel. This is it. We're looking back from Nick De Vries. And watch Roland. 50 kilowatts more power. 4-wheel drive. Does he make the move?
He's going to go for it then. And nothing that Nick De Vries can do. On the outside goes Oliver Roland into the Nouvelle chicane and up through into the race lead. We come through into the final sector. Oliver Roland, what a performance it has been. He's taken a podium in Monaco back in 2019, but he's never been on the top step. He has just one more corner to go here on the streets of Monte Carlo as he rounds Anthony Nose, comes out of the final corner to cross the timing line and take his third victory of the season. Oliver Rowland wins the Monaco E-Prix ahead of Nick de Vries for Mahindra, taking his first podium since 2022 and Mahindra's first since 23. Dennis holds on to third place at the checkered flag as well. Confirmation, though, of the results at the end of round 6. Oliver Rowland takes his third victory of the season and increases his lead in the championship. De Vries gets his first podium since 22 and Mahindra's first since 23. Dennis back on the rostrum as well, equaling his best result here in Monaco. Mortara in 4th, Muller 5th ahead of Verline, Dan Ticktum, Robin Freund, Stoffel van Doorn and Maximilian Günther. The 5 red lights come on. Who will reign supreme here in Monaco as we go green and go racing? Great start from the front row of the grid for Nick de Vries, but it's Oliver Rowland who chops over and gets the lead of the race from pole position, side by side with the 2 DS Penske's up the hill into Saint-Devant. Everybody taking it quite clean through the first couple of corners, but trying to find grip as we head towards Casino Square. Oh, takes him in the wall! Takes him to the wall down at Mirabeau, straight off to the runoff road, and he can't get that rotated. Or can he?
Yes, he can.
Fantastic!
Well, I'll tell you what, give him a point for spinning around in one of the tightest areas on the racetrack.
The yellow at turn 3.
Might be debris.
Yeah, possibly a bit of debris. You have had a smattering of contact.
Oh,
It's Muller.
Hey, push.
So Nico Muller is in some strife, and that, if it can't be recovered quickly, which I don't think it will be there, is going to be a safety car. Da Costa looking to the outside of Buemi, who was trying to attack on Günther. This is going to turn for the inside line here for Da Costa. Nothing Buemi can do. Contact between them. Oh, Buemi trying to firm it around the outside. Can he hold that? I don't think so, because Da Costa's not going to disappear, but he can, and does so. Brilliant driving between two of the most experienced racers in Formula E. Into attack mode then goes Oliver Rowland. Where does he emerge? It's in front of Sebastian Buemi.
He only lost one. That's very, very good news for him.
And now you would imagine that Nick de Vries is going to be a bit of a sitting duck. So let's see how quickly Rowland can dispatch of Nick de Vries through into the tunnel, and look at how much traction and how much extra speed Rowland has got over de Vries. De Vries is going to try and defend it down in towards the Nivelle chicane, side by side. Rowland, can he get it stopped? No, takes the escape road, runs on down at the Nivelle chicane. De Vries is going to come back through and into second, and Rowland's going to do it all over again.
He just pushed me on the curve completely. I don't get a track limits for that, man. He completely pushed me on the curve.
He's got him at the end of this lap then, so out of Anthony Nose. Better traction and more power for Oliver Rowland. No match then for him, and now what he needs to do is cycle ahead of Verne as quickly as he possibly can.
This is the move for the lead coming up.
So out of the tunnel we go then, side by side. Rowland to the outside against Verne. Can he make it stick this time to the Nivelle chicane? This is brave, it's bold, it's off onto the escape road and over the curve. There's no room there for Rowland to go through side by side, but he was alongside Verne, and now they still run side by side. Here comes Nick de Vries, 2 places in 1 corner, down into Tabac, fantastic, but he runs it wide. He's onto the wall on the outside, and Verne now side by side and making contact with the Dutchman as well. Look as well at Buemi trying to find his way through too.
Yeah, but Rowland has to give the place back to Verne. Right there, he's behind the curve.
Yeah. So now he knows he has to try and back out of it. It looks like he's thinking about it, and then as he's doing that, de Vries comes up the inside. So you're right, he didn't actually give the place back.
But look, de Vries is going for the move here. He is in attack mode and he's going for the move.
Yeah, he's going to be in trouble here. Is Oliver Rowland down into the chicane. Can't quite make it stick through into there, but he'll have greater traction on the exit and maybe can set something up into Tabac. This is going to be slightly easy pickings then for Nick de Vries as he now hits the front for Mahindra.
Watch this, watch Buemi. He's got 1 minute to try and get ahead of Nick de Vries here for potentially the win.
Just catching him. Is it a bit too late, or can he get it done here on the start finish? Yes, he can.
Yeah, pulls alongside.
No, he can't.
Oh, Nick de Vries defending that position with every ounce of talent and experience that he's got into the first corner. And Buemi with great attraction on the exit of the turn, and now he goes through and into the lead. Sebastian Buemi leads the Monaco E-Prix for Envision. 40 seconds left of attack mode then here as well. He's got to drive the next few corners of his life coming through into the next few sectors.
Does Roland go for attack?
He does. Yeah, Roland into his final attack mode deployment. He has no choice now because he can see these top two scampering away in front here.
Let's see what he can do. He's gone for a slight offset, hasn't he? Oh, he's in trouble there. He's given the place back.
Yeah,
that is good thinking from Oliver Roland. Got the attack mode, given the place back, won't get a penalty, and now should be able to get in front. He really is a tactical master, isn't he? Here goes Roland now, so he's the one in attack mode. Vern is out. Vern is out of attack mode. De Vries and Vern could be under pressure from all three of these cars here. Here we go, here comes Cassidy, past Vern. Has Roland got De Vries as well? That's the one we want to see, and he has. So Roland now up into second place, but 3.9 seconds to Buemi. I think that's going to be a struggle.
Cassidy's looking for the move on the inside of De Vries down into Mirabeau. There was a gap there. It was aggressive from Cassidy and he made it stick. He's up through and now ahead of De Vries into third place.
And Da Costa's got De Vries as well.
Look at Da Costa looking for a move on the inside. He's locked up. He's locked up. He's into the back of Cassidy. Cassidy parks the car on the apex. Da Costa can't find a way through. Now it is just a case of two more corners remaining for Sebastian Buemi, separating him from Envision's first win since the final race of 2023 and Buemi's first win since 2019. And the Swiss driver wins on the streets of Monaco. Buemi takes the checkered flag in commanding style from Oliver Roland. Nick Cassidy will come home to take his first podium of the season in third place. Sebastian Buemi is the winner here in Monaco. Oliver Roland in second and Nick Cassidy his first visit to the podium in third position. Ahead of Antonio Felix da Costa, I think Nick De Vries will be a bit disappointed with fifth after his performances in that race, and Diaz Penske will also be a little bit miffed as well. Jonathan Verne in sixth position ahead of Verline and then Maximilian Günther in the second DS. Dennis and Stoffel van Dorn complete the points finishers in 9th and 10th place. When the checkered flag falls, who is going to be fast and who is going to be furious as we wait for the 5 red lights to come on. And Formula E is go in Tokyo. Oliver Roland gets a nice start, not bad also from Norman Nato. Look at Mortara chopping over on the Nissan driver, nearly 3 abreast down into the first corner. Who's got the lead? It's Oliver Roland. Nato is on the outside, Barnard's on the inside of Mortara, and side-by-side action there as Max Günther was really sideways through the first couple of corners. Barnard getting ruffled out there and trying to be challenged by the Nissan of Norman Nato. One of the Envisions of Sebastian Buemi goes really wide as they're struggling for grip. Side by side still between Nato and Mortara through into the right-hander. Buemi, who's gone in for attack mode early here, isn't he?
He wants to get into the lead of this race as soon as possible.
There's so many places to be gained where the pack is so close together, so this is the strategy that they opted.
Well, look at him now, he's all over the back of Norman Nato, and this is going to be an easy pass as he comes out of the final corner. Four-wheel drive traction and an extra 50 kilowatts of power. Buemi is up and into fourth place then, ahead of the Nissan. His next target will be Taylor Barnard, and you can visibly see how much faster he is as he exits out the final turn and will blast alongside the Neil McLaren driver down to the first corner. Has he got the grip under the brakes? And into turn one, side by side they go. Buemi's got the inside line, he's got track position, he's got third. Here he is in the box, and now he comes back out and into the race. So he'll be out of sync compared to everybody else at the moment, but of course it'll all work out in the long game here for him.
Oh, red flag.
Red flag is out, so the race has been suspended. Oh no, Maximilian Günther's come to a stop. That's down at turn 13, and if that's not going to be able to be recovered quickly, or if he can't get the car going, that could be absolutely critical. So back to the Van Dorn scenario then. So he's down in 21st at the moment, but he's made his pit boost stop. He's gained a net amount of time over. This is what happened for Nico Müller last time out in Monaco. Roland is still trying to build out an advantage, but is he going to go in at the end of this lap, do you think?
I would stay out a little bit longer. The track's clear, and if you get a full course yellow, you're going to be massively gaining an advantage. So, I mean, there's no reason to dive into the pit lane at this moment. The others could start pushing on and take attack mode.
Exactly what Roland's done.
Yeah, so he's managing his risk here.
Let me know, should I box or not? Negative. We stay on our initial plan. Stay on the plan.
So what Roland's now trying to do here is he's trying to build out a buffer over Mortara, etc. They've all used one attack mode deployment. Roland's still got one left.
Gap minus 2.1. We should cover. Check dash orange.
So Roland now into the pits as well as Eder Mortara at the start of lap 24 then.
From what I understand, that's at 2.1 seconds to Barnard, who they're racing for.
Now we see Van Dorn is ahead of Roland.
Yeah, so Van Dorn has been able to cycle through. It's working out nicely, and he's got an attack mode deployment. He's laughing all the way to the bank at this point in the race, is Stoffel Van Dorn. We know that he has got a nice, comfortable cushion over the rest of the field, but has he made a mistake down into the first corner? Oh, no, he spun it. He spun it at turn 2,
well,
Stoffel Van Dorn. And he hit into the wall. I mean, this is the problem when you've got 25 seconds of lead. Maybe you're not concentrating too much, you're focusing on what's going on behind you. He needs to get his concentration back on point. I wonder if Stoffel will be the first person to win the Formula E race with having half spin. Well, there's actually a good possibility he could win a Formula E race with the largest ever winning margin in Formula E. He goes in for his final attack mode deployment now. One more lap to go, 2.5 kilometres separating Roland, Barnard and Buemi from a potential podium finish. 3 drivers, only 2 positions available. Who gets it? Roland is quite close on energy, so is he able to back off in the closing stage of this one as Barnard has a big snap of oversteer through the right-hander. This is now or never time here for Taylor Barnard. You can see him harrying the car, sliding all over the place as we come down in towards turn 15. He's not close enough to make a lunge through there. Meanwhile, we see the Maserati of Jake Hughes up the road. Here is his teammate, though, Stoffel Van Dorn. He's not had a victory since Monaco in 2022, but he does so now. Stoffel Van Dorn wins on the streets of Tokyo here for Maserati MSG. 2 wins in a row for that outfit here in Japan. Absolutely phenomenal, commanding drive as Roland does hold on for second place by the skin of his teeth from Taylor Barnard in 3rd position. A fantastic result for both of those drivers, but Van Dorn takes the win.
Yes! You just did it, mate! You won it! We won this one! Amazing! Amazing!
Let's get confirmation of the results then for round 8 here in Tokyo. It's Stoffel Van Dorn who takes his first win since Monaco 2022 ahead of Oliver Roland and Taylor Barnard. Then it's Sebastian Buemi in 4th position ahead of Dan Ticktum. Great result for him in the Cupra Kiro in 5th place ahead of Eder Mortara. A missed opportunity for the Swiss driver following a battery issue at the end of that race. He finished just ahead of De Costa, De Vries, Jean-Eric Verne and then Robin Freitz on the fringes of the top 10. The green flag is waved at the back. It is all eyes on the lights as Formula E takes over in Tokyo. Lights out and we're underway. Away from the start and a good launch there for Oliver Roland. He chops over on Dan Ticktum. Look though at the Porsche of Pascal Wehrlein coming through on the outside. 3 abreast down in towards T1. Ticktum trying to firm it around the outside through turn 2. Can he get the better of Wehrlein or is Wehrlein going to come through? Very close quarters between the two. Roland's managed to keep hold of the lead into turn 4. Still side by side we are for second place. And Ticktum does manage to stay ahead of Pascal Wehrlein. Tries to challenge for the lead against Oliver Roland, but the door was very firmly shut. Look at this, a smorgasbord of drivers at the start of lap 7, all of whom are going into attack mode. Everybody but leader Oliver Roland into attack mode then in the top 10. Yeah, this is working nicely here for Ticktum. He goes to the inside for the race lead down to the first corner. Dan Ticktum leads for Cupra Kiro. And fantastic overtake there down into turn 1. Wehrlein looking for the outside here, again into turn 15. That's what Barnard did last time around to Oliver Roland. He managed to make it stick through there on the exit. And now we see Wehrlein getting greater traction out of the corner, going through and up into second.
Full course yellow.
Full course yellow then, that's for debris on the circuit. You can see a bit of what looks like front wing presumably there. So that means the drivers are going to have to slow right down here. De Costa's in the pit lane here as well, so problems for Antonio Felix Da Costa. That's a huge shame for him. Let's work out what happened as we ride on board with him. So we are coming down into the braking zone, and that's where the full course yellow happened.
So attack situation, all 3 cars ahead of you have 4 minutes left. Almost everyone behind has 4 minutes left, apart from Mortara, 6 minutes remaining. Mortara on the car with 6 minutes remaining.
So Roland's in a bit of an interesting position here because, of course, he wants to lose as few positions as he can when he does attack mode, so he doesn't have to spend more energy and more time cycling through the rest of the pack.
Check in.
Pascal Wehrlein has taken the lead of the race. Pascal has jumped past Dan Ticktum.
Yeah, and he's got a half-second advantage over Dan Ticktum. Dennis on the inside of Roland into turn 15, gets the move done. That was clean and clinical and absolutely brilliant. Went from the outside to the inside. The Andretti through and now into the top 5. It's all or nothing time for Oliver Roland. He's going to throw everything at this one. Let's see how quickly he can depose of Jake Dennis. Down the start-finish straight we go. 50 kilowatts and all-wheel drive is no match for the Andretti. And now it's 4th place at the start of lap 23.
He went very deep into turn 1. The problem is he might overheat his tyres when he's pushing this hard. He's sliding a lot. But he's a bit desperate.
Look at this. Top 3 going through to attack mode. Where does Roland go through? He comes out in 2nd place. Wehrlein retains the lead there. So that's worked out beautifully for Pascal Wehrlein. And for the TAG Heuer Porsche team, Ticktum in 3rd position. And now you've got a bit of a stalemate.
So mode 1, race echo, drive to beep.
It's going to be the exit of this corner. Exit of turn 15 is Oliver's only chance. Is he going to be able to line it up? He's looking good, he's looking good.
Wehrlein defends, but now is the opportunity with the extra traction and power. Wehrlein tries to push Roland to the outside, but Roland goes through and into the race lead for Nissan here in Tokyo, to the delight of the crowd in Japan. Oliver Roland is the lead. He comes to the end of attack mode. Now he's got track position. Can he hold the lead over the remaining 5 laps of this race? Let's see how Ticktum can play this one. He'll know that he's got more energy. They'll be able to see that, but Barnard's ready to try and spoil the British Drivers' Party. He's going to have the inside line on the switchback, and Barnard goes through on Dan Ticktum for 3rd place.
Unbelievable move. Where did that come from?
Around the outside. So Ticktum had to slow down a little bit, and then Barnard went around the outside, and he was inside for the next corner. Brilliant.
That was fantastic, but look at Wehrlein challenging Oliver Roland down into the chicane, side by side, contact between the two. They managed to somehow exit the corner in the same positions that they entered, but Wehrlein trying to get aggressive on Oliver Roland for the race lead. This is going to be an absolute corker of an end to this one. Barnard looking for the inside, trying to challenge for the outside. Here comes Ticktum looking for the inside line against Taylor Barnard. Into the final chicane, it's going to bottleneck up, nearly 3 abreast. Ticktum going for the outside on Pascal Wehrlein. Doesn't manage to make it stick, but does get ahead of Taylor Barnard for 3rd place. Down the start-finish straight we go. Ticktum through for 2nd. Down into turn 1, Mortara on Barnard as well. This is getting frantic, fast and frenetic. Somehow, and now Dennis, look at this as well, on Mortara, challenging for positions. What a race this is turning out to be. It's Roland in front of Wehrlein. Ticktum now through into 3rd. Dennis on the inside of Mortara. Carbon fibre crashed and damage there, but Barnard's in the wall. And this is where it all really got feisty going into the final chicane. So you see Roland versus Wehrlein side by side. Ticktum got the better of Barnard. Barnard had more momentum but no room to use it because there was a Porsche right in front of him. And then down into the next part of the circuit, this is where it kicked off. So Mortara's going to go clattering into the back of Taylor Barnard. Barnard with broken suspension straight into the wall.
Let's see what happens at the restart.
Roland's bolted, he's gone early, he had to, didn't he, going into the final corner. So across the timing line we go to begin the last lap of racing under green flag conditions. Roland it is that leads from Pascal Wehrlein, and no surprise at all there for Oliver Roland. He is pushing on as hard as he can to try and not allow an opportunity for Wehrlein, or indeed maybe Ticktum, to attack. So we come down now into the final chicane. An imperious performance once again from Oliver Roland, who's going to win this one in Nissan's backyard. Oliver Roland takes victory in Tokyo ahead of Pascal Wehrlein and Dan Ticktum. A phenomenal race, and the late race safety car really changing the complexion of it. And again, it is Oliver Roland who takes victory in season 11. His 4th win of the year. Absolutely phenomenal. The race results from a fast, frenetic and chaotic Tokyo E-Prix here on Sunday sees Oliver Roland taking his 4th victory of the season ahead of Pascal Wehrlein, who now moves to within 2nd of the Drivers' Championship. Dan Ticktum, his first visit to the podium in his 57th start in Formula E ahead of Jake Dennis, who made up 10 places from where he lined up on the grid. A great top 5 for Lucas de Grassi in Yamaha's home race ahead of Bern, Cassidy, Bird, Buemi and then Maximilian Günther rounding out the points finishers. The 5 red lights come on, 29 laps of action as we go and send it in Shanghai. Günther gets away well from pole position and chops over on Taylor Barnard, but keep an eye out from behind with Pascal Wehrlein sweeping around the outside and leads into turn 1. Wehrlein with an absolute corker of a start from the 2nd row of the grid, followed by Günther. On the outside there is Nick de Vries trying to challenge, with Cassidy looking for 3rd place against Taylor Barnard. We come down to the left of turn 3. Roland side by side there with the Mahindra as well. Verne trying to find his way through there on the inside. He was getting aggressive. Mortara's going to get pinched here between Nick Cassidy. Oh, spins it round, does Nick Cassidy, after contact with Eder Mortara and Jean-Eric Verne into the final corner.
I think one thing to definitely be keeping an eye on is for those drivers that haven't yet used their first use of attack mode, because they might be waiting to cover off the first use of pit boost. So effectively taking the gap that they would lose coming into the pit boost away by maximising the time they're out while others are in pit boost. It's a tactic and a strategy that a few drivers have mentioned to me so far this week.
Let's see who pits now. Here's the pit entry.
Yeah, look at that flurry of cars coming in, all sort of on the lower half of the top 10, really, though. So
Gunter's in, though. He's the pole man from 4th place. So that's interesting to watch out, Tom, is what happens when this pack of Roland de Vries come into pit. Where do they cycle out compared to Gunter and Da Costa? What we're looking at is a race of 2 groups, right? So look from the green symbol on the left-hand side of the timing tower, starting down at Muller. That is effectively Group 2 who have pitted, and we need to see when it shakes out, when everyone's pitted, where Group 1, led by Oliver Rowland, shakes out compared to them. We're in the pit lane, and what we're watching is where the group led by Nico Muller is. So here we go. This is the group of Muller, Gunter, and here comes the group coming out of the pit lane, Oliver Rowland.
So we will be with Da Costa at pit out and Gunter. Muller, Da Costa at pit out. They have used.
Rowland has just managed to make this work then, so he's come out in front of Nico Muller, in front of Max Gunter there as well, but Gunter has got 16 seconds of attack mode left remaining, and he's going to have to try and make this work fairly quickly. Coming through the left-handed kink of turn 5, I don't think Rowland's going to have anything left to try and thwart his challenge, and indeed Gunter goes through and effectively into the race lead then.
Barnard's gone for it now.
We'll see just how different the car is going to be for him in terms of the pace. And look at that, straight past Oliver Rowland on the exit of turn 6. Next target is Robin Fries. He's going to pick off another driver in the next corner.
So we are on the slightly downside on energy, so we need maximum efficiency now.
Oh, that's a horrible message for Pascal Wehrlein to receive there. Needs to conserve energy. All the while, he's got a rear-view mirror full of Taylor Barnard, who's going to cycle towards the outside and goes through. Gunter's relinquished the lead here. Barnard hits the front, side-by-side with Wehrlein versus Gunter into the final corner. Gunter's going to have track position here, but does Wehrlein have better traction on the exit? Side-by-side they go down the start, finish straight as they head in towards turn 1. Who's going to get second place here? Gunter it is that takes the position away. Da Costa is on the inside of Rowland, who goes into attack mode then, and is going to relinquish 8th place to Robin Freint here.
And when you look at how many places Nick de Vries gained on his attack mode, it was not that many. So it will be a tough job for Oliver Rowland to overtake so many cars and to get to the lead.
And look now at Max Gunter challenging for 3rd place here as well. Can Rowland do anything down into turn 6 for the lead against Barnard? He can, and goes through. So 1 minute and 15 seconds left then for Rowland. Gunter has got over a minute more remaining compared. He's not far down the road.
It's 1 extra lap. He's gone 1 lap later, so I think Gunter's in the best position here.
My feeling is we pass and we go.
His feeling is pass and go, and that's what exactly he's going to do, Tom, as he heads towards turn 1.
Pulls alongside, side by side we go, and Gunter makes it easy. Ahead of Oliver Rowland, leads at the start of lap 26. Jay Penske delighted.
Here comes Nato, around the outside, down the chicane. What does Rowland do here? Does Rowland play the team game?
What does Nissan do here as well? Side by side, Nato forcing Barnard off onto the curb. Back on the inside goes Barnard.
Barnard having a look. Tom's hand is going crazy in the commentary box. I don't know what he's signalling, but anyway.
I couldn't believe he was going to make that stick. It was a hell of a dive to the inside, but now looks to the outside into turn 7 and 8. Side by side between Rowland and Barnard. Looks for the inside line into the next corner. Nato's there ready to try and take advantage as well. And Barnard goes through and into second. The new Nissans now close together. And here comes Dan Tinctum looking for the inside line against Norman Nato, and gets through and up into 4th place. Nato now going head-to-head with Jean-Eric Verne inside the top 5.
And Nato's lost out here. He's lost out. He should have been fighting for 2nd place. He's now fighting for 5th against Verne. Look at Tinctum. Tinctum against Rowland, and he's done it.
Ticktum goes through and into third place then against Oliver Rowland. This is absolutely brilliant from 21st on the grid. Dan Ticktum in the Cupra Kiro up into the podium places at the end of this race.
There's a last corner lunge coming. Ticktum is there. Ticktum is right there. Watch this, coming through 8. Now 9. This is the final opportunity into the chicane top. Does Ticktum go for it?
He does! He goes through on the outside, but look at Bird trying to find his way through. Max Günther takes his 7th Formula E career victory here in Shanghai, but who gets second place on the podium? It's Verne! It's a 1-2 for Diaz Penske ahead of Taylor Barnard. What a fantastic final lap here in Shanghai, and Diaz Penske delight here in China. Look at this, what a lunge from Verne down the inside of Barnard, down the inside of Ticktum, caught the Briton completely unawares. It was aggressive and robust, but he made it pay off, and a 1-2 for the DS Penske team, their first ever 1-2 finish in any guise. So let's take a look at the race results, shall we, after round 10 of the Hankook Shanghai E-Prix. It's Günther on top ahead of Jean-Eric Verne of DS Penske 1-2 here in Shanghai. Then a British 3, 4 and 5. Barnard ahead of Ticktum and championship leader Oliver Rowland. Norman Nato, his teammate in 6th position ahead of Sam Bird, Nick de Vries, Sebastian Buemi and Robin Freitz completing the top 10. So the race now gets underway behind the safety car. So we have a 28-lapper to come here in Shanghai. And essentially, because of the safety car start due to the wet conditions, the drivers now pull away. The race has now started, Karun.
That's right. So the countdown already begins. Obviously, in Formula E, even in a normal race start scenario, there isn't a formation lap. So the first time the cars go around the track is the first lap of the E-Prix. So, but this is a good chance for us to have a look at the conditions, a good chance for the drivers, more importantly, to have a look at the conditions. And I have to say, it looks a lot better than it did at the end of qualifying when we last saw the cars on track.
So safety car now in at the end of lap 7. Rolling start for the drivers as the green flag flies, and racing action will begin with Nick Cassidy kicking off round 11 under racing conditions. We go green then in Shanghai. Cassidy across the timing line to Costa in 2nd, Verline across the timing line in 3rd place, and de Grassi over the line in 4th position. Of course, the field spread out due to this rolling start. Don't expect any moves down towards the first corner, and you can see already a big difference in gap. Is Cassidy going to go for attack mode in the opening stages? He is straight away, and the 2 Tag Heuer Porsches following him through. That's the legacy of this rolling start, though. It spreads the field out so you can do it without losing track position.
Well, and also critically, those guys up front, they've got visibility, and this is their chance for them to make hay while the sun shines, use the 4-wheel drive, and that, you know, we were saying before, it could make up to 5 seconds a lap difference.
So swap, turn 6, swap, turn 6, and go for Cassidy.
So team tactics then ongoing here for Tag Heuer Porsche. De Costa relinquishes 2nd place to teammate Pascal Verline. Cassidy now out of attack mode, but Verline struggling for grip and trying to keep it on the straight and narrow through turn 8. He's got 1 minute and 40 seconds now to close that gap up to Nick Cassidy and try and take over the lead of this race.
So Verline in P3 will have a 2-minute overlap on you. He's now P2.
That's the voice of Phil Ingram, Cassidy's race engineer for this weekend. Oh, that's Nick de Vries, who's got off onto the gravel, spins it round, gathers it up, and manages to recover down into turn 6. We only caught the back end of that incident. We'll have to work out what happened for him, but he's going to definitely have lost track position. And
He's only lost 3 places though, Tom. So it's a quick recovery for what was quite a spectacular spin.
Oh, Verline's wide in the background there at turn 8. He just about keeps it on the straight and narrow, but if there was ever a warning sign for the German driver, that was it. He just about got away with it, but he's lost hand over fist of time compared to the race leader, Cassidy.
Cassidy's got a very good rhythm going on at the moment in these conditions. He was fastest in free practice in the wet, fastest in qualifying in the wet, and at the moment he's just driving away in the lead of the race as well.
Yeah, quickest by a second over the last lap. There's David Bettman going for his 2nd spin of the day.
There we go.
Oh, look at that. Van Dorn on the inside of Maloney. De Grassi rather down into turn 6. Runs it deep. De Grassi on the switchback. Gets the position back from the Belgian. This is what happened down into turn 7 and 8 on the last lap. So it all gets a bit wide there, and there was contact between Van Dorn and De Vries through there. Let's have a look. So Van Dorn just runs it wide, has a snap of oversteer. De Vries sees an opportunity on the inside and just clatters into the side of him.
There might be a safety car because car 7, Günther, has a red car, so...
Yeah, it's a black flag with an orange disc, indicates that, as the meatball flag essentially as it's known, as we see Ticktum having a slip and a slide going into turn 7.
It's very strange to get this message about Günther having a red car, but he's still going around.
Yeah, so he's now slowing, so we'll be retiring from this race. 0-0 stuff for Maximilian Günther, a winner 24 hours ago, and unfortunately for round 11 here in Shanghai, his race is going to come to a premature conclusion. Can he make it to the pits, though?
Brake urgent, I lost power.
Wait, stay safe, stay safe.
Barnard then now closing up to the back of Jake Dennis and indeed trying to find his way through into the right-hander. That's a brave move on the inside. The line was closing, but Barnard managed to force the door open and is now into 12th position. Confirmation then of the added laps, 3, because we started this race behind the safety car as we see Barnard challenging De Vries. This is for 11th place, so just outside the points-paying positions, and Barnard with the outside line. De Vries tries to push him to the curb, but Barnard with great attraction goes through and up a position ahead of the Mahindra. Barnard trying to find a way through on Maloney and the Lonely Yamaha app team. Maloney pointless so far in 2025, but look though at Barnard, side by side they go down the start finish straight. Great attraction with attack mode, 350 kilowatts and all-wheel drive down to the first corner. It's easy pickings for the 21-year-old. Third at the moment here, isn't he? So going through turn 5 into turn 6, he's just got into attack mode and he's spun it round.
Sorry guys, just stand. No, come on mate, stay focused. Come on mate, stay focused. Let's go.
Ah, that's a shame for Sam Bird. A points opportunity slipping through his fingers, and does a full 720. That'll turn your eyeballs into a spin dryer.
It's like gymnastics, you get 10 points for that. Oh, this was...
Van Dorn.
Van Dorn. He's only going to get 4 points for that.
Yeah, not a perfect 10 for Stoffel Van Dorn. Didn't lose too much time though. It'll be a double podium for Tag Heuer Porsche, but through the final corner, a commanding, controlled, imperious drive from Nick Cassidy as he wins here in Shanghai. Cassidy on top for the first time for Jaguar TCS Racing since Berlin 2024. Cassidy is the man on top form here in China. What a drive, what a result, what delight for him. Let's get confirmation, though, of the race results from round 11. Nick Cassidy takes his 8th career win in Formula E, a lights-to-flag victory for the Kiwi. Verline and Da Costa making a Tag Heuer Porsche double podium as they now take over the lead in the Teams Championship. A great drive also from Jake Hughes in 4th, Verne in 5th. Muller gets 6th place for Andretti. Quite a quiet, under-the-radar sort of race for the Swiss driver. He was ahead of Van Dorn, Freitz, De Grassi in 9th place. Barnard on his 21st birthday snuck into the points right at the end. Who will be smarter in Jakarta as the 5 lights go out and go racing as Dennis moves over and holds the lead, but look at Nick De Vries coming through on the inside, Ticktum to the outside line there as well, but De Vries from 3rd up into 2nd, Dennis leads the way, and Barnard demoted down into 3rd position off the start. On the inside there is Nick Cassidy getting his elbows out against Dan Ticktum through turn 2 and into turn 3. A textbook start though from pole position for Dennis, he holds the lead. Or a bit of crunching of carbon fibre as it gets very close for comfort down into turn 13. So there are your race leaders. Where is Verne amongst all of that? I think he cycled a couple of positions away, so I wonder if he was involved in some drama then down at turn 13 when we heard the crunching of carbon fibre.
He's now dropping all the way down, so I think, yeah, Jean-Eric Verne into the pits.
So we don't get a chance to see what's happening in terms of the attack mode advantage. Now let's have a look at what happened with Verne and Evans then. So down in towards turn 13. Keep an eye out side by side there in the background. And Verne just misjudged his braking, ploughed straight into the back of the Kiwi. Bad to worse for DS Penske because Max Günther is in the pit lane as well. So Günther looks like another retirement from this race. Well, there was no contact between them, but Günther there onto the dust on the outside and no grip.
Jeddah
first try to push. Make sure you follow them.
309 Zulu.
Oh, Barnard in attack mode and into the wall on the exit of turn 16. Sorry to cut in front of the team radio there for Dan Ticktum, but Barnard was deep in attack mode there. Clipped the barrier, I think. Easter Free's going to try and get trap position here against Jake Dennis. Well, you would imagine he would love to do so and lead this race. It's not particularly energy critical. We're expecting this one to be. Dennis is going to try and defend it, and an aggressive chop over down the start-finish straight. De Vries forced to the outside line into turn 1. Dennis defends the lead. No way through there for Nick De Vries. Has to live to fight another day. This is now or never time here for Nick De Vries. Down into the final corner then here, team radio.
Okay, just manage your target as you need.
De Vries down the start-finish straight, attacking against Jake Dennis. Dennis again goes for that defensive line, but De Vries has got more power. Oh, contact! And Dennis loses front wing down into turn 1. A very aggressive chop over from the 21 of the Mahindra of Nick De Vries, and it's cost Jake Dennis his front wing, and I'm sure the stewards are going to be looking at that one. Let's have another look what happened then down to the start-finish straight. You can see there, extra trap position, safety car is out. We can see on our timing screen.
It was Nick that moved from the left-hand side of the circuit to the right to cut over.
What was that?
It's a very quick safety car though, and it's in this lap, so let's get back to racing.
Yeah, don't think we're going to have any added laps. Safety car needs to be out for more than 3 minutes to get at least one, and I don't think it was.
De Vries is gone.
Yeah, De Vries is gone. He's got to go now, hasn't he? And this is going to be a flat-out race then, surely to the checkered flag. How are the attack mode deployment's going to work out? Lap 26 we begin as we go green flag racing.
Collision with Cassidy as well.
As much as you can then. Okay, it's under investigation. You just need to park it for now, all right?
Yeah, copy that. But I did not move an inch. You just completely sideswiped me.
Whoa! Lay on the brakes there for Verline into the side of Roland down at turn 7. Does he get it stopped just about? That allows the door to be open though for Barnard and for Mitch Evans there as well. Goodness me, that was a bit frantic and a bit late for Verline. That just goes to show how little grip there is under braking offline. 10-second penalty for Nick De Vries for that collision with Jake Dennis. So De Vries is going to be out of contention for the victory here. Look at Dan Ticktum as Mortara goes into his final attack mode deployment. Yellow flag is out at turn 1. It's Jake Hughes who's come to a stop. Can't see exactly what's happened, but if he stops and can't get going again, we could see another safety car, which, for the likes of Ticktum and Dennis, who've just gone into attack mode, could spell disaster.
Control speaking, we go full course yellow in 3, 2, 1. Full course yellow, please. Full course yellow ending.
Right, it is a short full course yellow. Okay,
4, 3,
so
2, 1. Green flag, please.
Right, so that's not worked out at all for De Vries and Ticktum. It has worked out beautifully though for Jake Dennis. Down towards the first corner we go. De Vries still with a 3.5 second lead. Ticktum in second place. Oh, Van Dorn also in some drama down at turn 16. So the second of the Maseratis out of this race.
And Dennis looks to be dropping back as well.
Unless it's a glitch on the timing screen. No, it's not. So well, it's happened to Jake Dennis then here in this one. He's dropped right down the order. And De Vries in some bother here as well. So he's come to a stop. This is an absolutely dramatic end to this race. So we've had 3 retirements in the space of about as many minutes. It's allowed Dan Ticktum into the lead of this one, and it's Mortara who's now all over the gearbox of the Kiro.
We go full course yellow in 3, 2, 1. Full course yellow, please.
Let's have a look at what happened though to Stoffel Van Dorn down at turn 16. Oh, that's a technical failure, surely. Yeah. Coming down into there and no brakes at all. And this is De Vries later on as he came to a stop in the Mahindra. So he already had a 10-second time penalty, and it's a DNF for the Dutchman. Mortara is nowhere near close enough as we come down into what is really the final overtaking zone on this lap, and unless Ticktum fluffs his lines, he has surely got track position into the final sector. Down in towards turn 16 we go. What a race this has proven to be here in Jakarta. One more turn left, and on his 60th start, Dan Ticktum for Cupra Kiro will finally become a winner in Formula E. The British British driver takes the checkered flag. Dan Ticktum wins here in Jakarta, to the delight of Cooper Kiro, to Alex Wee and to Russell O'Hagan. Edo Mortara takes second. Nico Muller in third position on the podium as well. What a fantastic race here in Formula E, and what delight for Cooper Kiro and for that team to take their first victory since season 2. Absolute delight for Dan Ticktum here in Indonesia.
Hold on. Yes!
What a race for round 12 of season 11 here in Formula E, and a new name in the winner's circle. Dan Ticktum for Cooper Kiro takes an emphatic victory by just 0.3 of a second over Edo Mortara. Nico Muller also onto the podium for the first time since 2021 as well. Da Costa in 4th, Cassidy in 5th. Taylor Barnard, he'll be very disappointed with 6th place after a podium position was on the cards. And a couple of post-race penalties for Sebastian Buemi and also Oliver Rowland as well. The lights go on and we go racing, away we go, and a good start from Robin Freins off the start of the front row of the grid. Mitch Evans though gets the advantage down towards turn 1. Look at the DS Penske of Maximilian Günther on the outside, Rowland there in the middle, 3 abreast in the mid-pack down into the first corner, where Evans gets the whole shot, gets the advantage, but Jake Dennis is stranded on the grid, so that's a disaster there for Jake Dennis. And now we've got Antonio Felix da Costa in front of Oliver Rowland through turn 3 and 4. Rowland loses a couple of places from where he started.
As we can see, yeah, he's waving his hands before the lights have even gone off.
What a shame for the season 9 world champion. So 3 drivers in attack mode, 4 minutes for these drivers. First of all, they've got 8 minutes in total of their deployment, and look at Mitch Evans already right on the back of Robin Freins in the next couple of corners. Freins is deep into turn 7. That allows the door to be open for Evans, and he walks straight through it up into the lead of the race for Mitch Evans. Now he's got a clear track in front of him, doesn't have to worry about that spray, and is he going to now try and create a gap over the rest of the field? Freins chops over on Günther there. That's going to compromise his line on the exit, allow the DS Penske driver potentially an opportunity, but slots back in behind the Envision into turn 3 and 4. But on the exit of the corner, 4-wheel drive and 350 kilowatts of power is no match for Robin Freins as Günther goes sailing on through and into third position. Does Wehrlein have a sneak up the inside? He's going to look. The door's going to be shut there, but it's opening again on the exit of the corner. Side by side they go, and Wehrlein now goes up into 4th place. So Freins loses 2 positions in the space of a couple of corners. You can see the 2 Tag Heuer Porsches, not much love lost between those 2 this weekend, I think it's fair to say. And I was going to ask if they were working together, but I can guarantee that's probably not on the cards. Wehrlein attacks his teammate Da Costa down into turn 6. Da Costa, does he put up a fight? Does he try and retain that place? Not quite. And is that going to open the door maybe here for Freins, who's still got 10 seconds of attack mode left? It does. So Freins through on Da Costa and possibly through on Wehrlein as well. Into the next hairpin. He's on the outside. 4 seconds of attack mode remaining. The timer counts down, and I think Wehrlein's just about going to be able to hold on to it. 4-wheel drive to 2-wheel drive, and Da Costa now back through on Freins as well. Evans boxes then from the race lead on lap 24 out of 39. Wehrlein also follows him in there as well. So exactly what we were expecting to see.
I think we've got to remember 2 things about Wehrlein. One, yes, he wants to win this race to maximise his points, 25 points for a win, but it's 18 for second. But his championship fight is not against Evans, it's against Oliver Rowland.
Attention everyone, this is car slow.
Oh, it's suspension damage. So Beckman's into the wall then.
That's it, safety car, definitely.
So safety car will come out, and that is going to ruin the likes of Freins' charge to attack, because he will now not be able to use the extra power and all-wheel drive to get in front of the 2 DS Penskes.
I think we're going to see what happened here with David Beckman as we've got a car go deep. David Beckman here coming into 3 and 4.
Oh, his contact
with Sete Kamara.
Yeah, Sete Kamara up the inside, and the gap was always going to disappear into there. Whoa!
Spinner at the back. There's a couple of people spun. Car 23.
Oh, is it Rowland? It's Oliver Rowland, the championship leader, who spun down at turn 6. Oh, the boy from Barnsley. The championship will not be decided then here this afternoon. The yellow flag is out. It goes away as the track is cleared. And is he out of the race? Has he got damage? He does. Let's have a look. He's going to be in the mid-pack then here. And Drugovich there on the outside. Oh, it wasn't Drugovich he came together with. It was Van Dorn that was the contact.
Kind of it looks a little bit more like Roland there, sticking it down the inside on that particular one that we saw. Right front suspension damage. Added laps 2.
2 added laps then, so it becomes a 39 to a 41 lapper. What's the gap between Evans and Wehrlein? Wehrlein's got a minute and 20 of attack mode then remaining, but 4.4 seconds the deficit. Barnard's just come to the end of it, and he's got Mortara and Da Costa all over his gearbox. So can those two drivers take profit? They can. Mortara's now up into P3. Barnard's down to 4th, and Da Costa goes through on the Briton as well. We look at Tommaso Volpe also inside the Nissan garage. What an unfortunate race it has proven to be for that team. Look at the gap, though, between the top two, Evans and Wehrlein. Wehrlein, though, is coming to the end of that second and final attack mode deployment. It's close, but he's not close enough to launch an attack at the moment. Down in towards turns 6 and 7. Let's have a look at the point standings just to remind you. If the checkered flag fell now, 172 for Roland, 122 for Pascal Wehrlein. Keeps him in the championship fight another day.
Yeah, 50 points there'll be the gap, and he needs to finish this weekend with a 58-point margin to be champion. We've got a moment for Wehrlein there.
Yeah, he's deep into turns 9 and 10, and that's the opportunity gone then for Pascal Wehrlein. Unless Evans makes an error now, you would imagine that Evans has got this one sewn up. There is Oliver Rowland, and a case of what might have been for the boy from Barnsley on the precipice of greatness, and it has not worked out at all. We come, though, into the final sector. Rowland is out of this race. Evans is fighting, though, for the victory, and Wehrlein is throwing the kitchen sink at this one, but we're coming through into the final sector of the race. Evans versus Wehrlein, Jaguar versus Tag Heuer Porsche. Points on offer for both drivers, and you know that Wehrlein wants to get as many as he can to keep his championship hopes very much alive. Through to the final 2-3 corners we go, and Evans has driven this one absolutely perfectly. He comes out the final corner, and he will take the checkered flag in commanding style. Mitch Evans wins for the first time since São Paulo 2024, ahead of Pascal Wehrlein. Second position for him. Well, what a round 13 we've had here in Berlin. Mitch Evans takes his first victory since Sao Paulo last year, with Pascal Wehrlein keeping his championship hopes alive in second place. Edo Mortara promoted up to third, courtesy of the 5-second penalty for Antonio Felix da Costa after he had contact with Jake Hughes in the closing stages, and a great top 5 also for Nick Casti in the second Jaguar TCS racing car. He came through from 21st on the grid. Who will win in Berlin as the lights go out and we go racing? Good start from Wehrlein, nice one from Tictum off the front row of the grid as well. Look at Robin Freitz coming through on Da Costa down towards the first corner, side by side with Wehrlein and Tictum. Who leads into turn 2? Tictum's got the inside line, but Wehrlein holds it around the outside. Da Costa up into third as well against Robin Freitz. So he's up into P3. On the outside there is Nico Müller in the Andretti, looking to get the better of Freitz through into the right-hander, but Wehrlein it is that leads. It is a Tag Heuer Porsche 1-2 as Roland gets about 2 places in the space of 1 corner, and he's now into 5th position as we come to start lap 10. 19 laps then to go as Barnard goes for the lead here on Pascal Wehrlein, but here comes Da Costa on Wehrlein's inside. The gap's going to open there for Barnard. That's a lunge down into turn 2. Can he make it stick? He can. And now Taylor Barnard, the venue where he scored his debut points here 12 months ago, leads a race in the Neon McLaren.
Looking at the attack mode users, we've got one towards the back of the field, says a camera, but Mortara is also using attack mode.
Yeah, Buemi's in some bother at turn 2, isn't it? Safety car is out. Safety car then is deployed, and it means now that Barnard can just have a bit of breathing space at the sharp end of this race. Da Costa in second, Wehrlein in third. We go green once again here in Berlin. Barnard leads them across, along with Da Costa, Wehrlein, Evans, and Freitz down in towards turn 1. No challenges there for Barnard from behind. Does anybody make a move? Well, Jean-Marie Verne with his expendable energy as Barnard's gone in for attack mode straight away, and he's going to pull in there behind the 2 Tag Heuer Porsches. He'll have an extra 50 kilowatts of power. He'll have all-wheel drive as well, and how is he going to use this to his advantage? Look at Barnard, he is absolutely catapulting away. We've got a yellow flag, though, out at turn 2, and it's Nico Müller that's come to a stop. We could see another safety car then here as well. I think Sam Bird might be involved in the second of the Neon McLarens. It's a double yellow down at turn 2. Muller's going to get going again, but Bird is going nowhere. If that calls a safety car, that is going to ruin the strategy there for Taylor Barnard.
Yeah, it is going to ruin it. It looks like Bird isn't going anywhere because the tyre's off the rim on the front. And
Safety
he's
car.
stuck.
Safety car out. Sorry, Alan, to go in front of you. You've got it on our timing screen. Comes up now on the TV. And the safety car is deployed. And Barnard, well, he'll be very, very disappointed with that. Ah, there's contact. Yeah, right. OK, so they had contact before on the straight.
So Bird has hit the back of Nico Muller, hence the reason the left front and the right rear.
Yeah. So they weren't going for attack mode then, I think we can clarify.
The green flag flies once again, and we go racing. Does anybody further back behind Barnard go for the attack mode straight away? They do. Verline goes straight in at the start of this one. Fright's in as well. Rowland follows suit, and likewise Jean-Eric Verne as well. They're all in, trying to use attack mode and make hay whilst the field's all bunched up following the restart.
It's interesting there to see Oliver Rowland follow Pascal Verline straight in to use his attack mode.
Da Costa on Rowland there as well, both in attack mode, but Rowland with a minute less compared to it, and he really needs to get the elbows out. Here does Oliver Rowland to the inside, 2 into 1 into turn 9. Can he make it stick? This is absolutely imperative for Oliver Rowland, who leads. Oliver Rowland in front in the Nissan. Rowland looking for the outside line, but he's going to go into attack mode here, then, isn't he? He's going to go for his second deployment as it all goes very, very close into the first couple of corners there. Drugovic also in attack mode as well.
I'm not sure if that's the right call for Oliver Rowland, because he has picked a moment where the cars are so close together that he's dropped from 4th down to 9th. He's lost a lot of positions there, so he's got a lot of ground to make up, and it is getting busy at the front.
Verline's going for his final attack mode deployment, and Porsche employing a different strategy because Verline's gone right down into 19th place, but he's got 5 minutes left of this one.
But I think that's because they over-consumed at the start of this race. He's had no choice but to drop off and to consume, save some energy, and now he's got to see if he can use it while he's got attack mode. Oliver Rowland's got 3 minutes of attack mode left. He's up into 2nd place behind Jean-Eric Verne. He needs to get into the lead and figure out if he can open up a gap to the rest of the field.
Here he goes, Oliver Rowland to the outside. Verne's going to defend this one though as best he can, but I don't think he's going to have anything on the exit of the corner because of the 4-wheel drive traction, and Oliver Rowland takes the lead on lap 34 from Jean-Eric Verne. Verline now making his way through the field. He's got 4 minutes of attack mode, and the field pretty bunched up in front of him, it's fair to say. He's got 5 seconds to the leaders, so this is a good opportunity for Verline to make some progress after going right to the very back of the field.
Cassidy up to 2nd, just taking his attack mode now. Cassidy has really dragged himself right into this game.
Yeah, Cassidy's having an absolutely superlative run of this one. Look at this with Günther versus Muller. Muller's having a great run of this. If you remember, he had a puncher. He was right at the back of the train of cars after the safety car, which he was involved in the incident that brought it out. And you can see he's now in 10th position. He was as high as 3rd a couple of laps ago. Keep an eye out as well for Da Costa, who is in 8th position. He's got 2 minutes and 24 of attack mode, more than Muller in front of him. Barnard and Drugovic have used their final attack mode deployments as well. And also Pascal Verline could be set to try and come back through the order. It might just be enough for them to hold off the championship challenge here for Oliver Rowland, especially as he loses another place here to Verne at the start of lap 38.
So, Tom, Oliver Rowland needs to keep this position. He needs to finish in the top 4. He's very unlikely to get the fastest lap because he's used his attack modes up. Nick Cassidy has the fastest lap at the minute, so he needs to stay in the top 4 to even wrap this up before we go to London.
Barnard on the inside, side by side there with Evans. Doesn't want to give this one up. Contact between the two on the exit of turn 2. Barnard through, still on the inside, muscling Evans to the outside onto the wall of turn 4. But somehow Evans just has enough room to get the gap, get the position, and get 5th place on Taylor Barnard.
Got 5th place on Taylor Barnard, but look at the gap to Oliver Rowland now. That's allowed Rowland to stretch it out, and now they're all out of their attack mode.
Can he get onto the podium in the closing stage of this one? I think it's a bridge too far, but it doesn't matter there for the British driver. Now down through into turns 9 and 10. Well, the boy from Barnsley 32 years ago, he awoke with a dream. One dream to become the world champion. And he is about to realise that. He comes through into the Triple Apex final corner here in Berlin. Oliver Rowland for Nissan, as Cassidy comes across the line to take victory here in Berlin. Dennis in 2nd and Rowland in 3rd. Oliver Rowland is the 2025 Formula E World Champion here in Berlin. What an absolutely phenomenal season for Oliver Rowland. and he was right there when it mattered, and you can see what it means for the Nissan Formula E team.
World champion without ballast.
I don't know what to say.
This Tommaso, you are an amazing comeback, the best comeback in the sport, world champion. We have a special message for you.
Daddy, there's a world champion! Yay! Bye.
What a superb 14th round of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. Nick Cassidy is a winner. Jaguar taking back-to-back victories in Berlin. Jake Dennis in second and Jean-Eric Bird in P3. But the man of the moment, Oliver Rowland, P4 was enough for him to become the 2025 World Champion. Mitch Evans inside the top 5 ahead of Taylor Barnard. Who will revel in the XL as the lights go out and we go racing. Good start from Evans. De Vries chops over on Berline down towards the first corner. Who gets the lead into turn 1? It will be the pole sitter then of Mitch Evans, who's got the whole shot from Nick De Vries, and contact there in the mid-pack. That's Max Günther facing the wall on the outside. It's also cost one of the Maseratis there. I think that might be Stoffel Van Dorn who's in some bother in the first couple of corners. But as we burst into the daylight for the first time, and contact there further as well, Mortara, and you can see front suspension damage for Maximilian Günther. Jay Penske's not going to be happy with that. We could have a safety car and a car pile up here as well.
Both McLarens.
Yeah, both the Neil McLarens involved. So that's where the suspension got broken. Mortara shoves Günther into the wall on the outside.
And then this is where, you know, Günther's tried to turn left to come around the corner with no steering. At that point, you know, there's an escape there where he could have safely parked out of the way, and he's effectively created this traffic jam off the two McLarens and the Lola.
This is the best my car's been all year.
Well, Cassidy's very happy as we ride on board with him here. You know, he's in 4th place, he's in a good position.
Oh, another look at the energy, and again, Cassidy doing what he loves, just saving energy. He's got about 1 to 2% more relative to the other drivers in front of him. I mean, he's got 2% more than his teammate, which doesn't sound like a great deal, but it means a lot because he can then expend that, in theory, later on in the race.
Bunch of drivers there going for attack mode as well. Rowland's gone for it.
Yeah, De Vries has gone for it, and Verline as well at the sharp end of the field. So that's allowed Cassidy to go through into the 2nd place. Now, I wonder whether Cassidy can do anything to keep the two in attack mode at bay. The problem is, in Gen 3 Evo, is that the offset is absolutely huge, and 4-wheel drive, yeah, as Cassidy has gone in. So no team games going on there. I wondered if he might try and hold him up and just give Evans a chance to break a bit of a gap out in front. So now Evans is going to have his mirrors full of Verline and De Vries, all of whom have got relatively the same amount of attack mode remaining.
Oh, challenge for the lead.
Yeah, De Vries goes for it, down into the custom house chicane, makes the move stick. Evans now sits in the middle of an attack mode sandwich, as it were. We come through the exits of that chicane and come down in towards turn 14. And is Verline going to be close enough to launch a move up the inside? Is Evans going to maybe think about attack mode on this lap? No, he doesn't. He parks the car in the middle of the corner, doesn't allow an opportunity for the Porsche driver to go through. Verline is looking every which way he can to get through on Mitch Evans, and all the while that is allowing De Vries to romp away with it. Evans defends the line down into the penultimate corner. Side by side they go. Verline won't be able to find his way through there, and Evans can park his car on the apex of the corner through turn 20, and now we'll see Verline cycling past down the start-finish straight. So this is the pit leader, essentially. This is Nick Cassidy with Stoffel Van Dorn, Sam Bird, etc., all very close behind. Cassidy, though, still has 2 attack modes remaining. Everybody else behind, bar Sebastian Buemi, has used at least, or is in, 1 attack mode at the moment. So Cassidy's doing a fantastic job of just keeping these drivers from launching one up the inside.
What I don't understand is why Cassidy hasn't gone for attack mode, because he's got free air. This is the time to get attack mode and go as fast as possible. He's got nobody in front of him for 38 seconds.
Yeah, but he's got a half-second gap of Van Dorn behind. If he goes through, loses track position, you can see them, a train of cars behind. If he loses track position and then can't find his way past, you know, that could upset his strategy and ruin his race.
He's coming into the final couple of corners. Let's keep an eye. We want to see where Nick De Vries is. Nick Cassidy on the start-finish straight. Nick De Vries has been released from his pit box in the pit lane. Here he is coming out, and he will still be effectively the leader of the race.
Look at that, a late lunge and defensive move there for De Vries. Forces Cassidy to the outside as we come into the chicane. Cassidy has to live to fight another day. On the exit of the corner and maybe into turn 16, he can think about a move going through there. But we know that De Vries is going to try and defend that line as much as he possibly can. Over the crest of the hill, into the braking zone we go. De Vries holds station for now.
Yeah, he's looking to try and do a little bit of a reposition here. Cut back. And when they were defending that inside line over the jump, it looks like they get a lot more air.
Here we go. Oh, into the penultimate corner. De Vries again defending this one as if his life depends on it. Through into the penultimate and then the final corner we go. Across the timing line. Can De Vries do anything? I don't think he can. Nick Cassidy comes across the timing line and takes the lead of the race at the start of lap 37. It is now Jaguar TCS Racing in front once again. Look at Tictum now on Jake Dennis. Oh, it spins Mitch Evans round. There's contact at the penultimate corner. Deary me, it's all kicking off here on lap 31, and Evans just about rejoins okay, but Freins there has to take evasive action through the final couple of corners as well. And now you've got Oliver Rowland having a bit of a skirmish and a battle. And that's with Nico Muller for position. An eye out though for Pascal Wehrlein, because he's still got one attack mode remaining. Got a double yellow down at turn 9, and that's Stoffel Van Dorn that's coming to the bother. And Dan Tictum as well has met the barrier. What a shame for Dan Tictum. He's been in the wars over the last couple of laps, and the British driver in his home race, that's going to bring out a safety car here at a very minimum. And look at all these drivers that are in attack mode, including Pascal Wehrlein, who's just gone into it. That car's not getting recovered anytime soon.
Oh, the lock-up. He's dived brave and then not managed to stop the car.
Cassidy has controlled this one pretty much from lights out to the checkered flag. As soon as he was able to cycle through and build up an advantage over everybody else, he has not been in any bother at all throughout the remainder of this race. And as he comes around the final corner, he will take victory on the streets of London. Nick Cassidy wins for Jaguar TCS Racing here in London. Nick De Vries in second, and Pascal Wehrlein across the line on the final podium place in P3 as well. 3 consecutive victories in season 11 for Jaguar TCS Racing. What a drive for the Kiwi. Well, what a thrilling round 15 we've had here for the Marvel Fantastic Four London E3. Nick Cassidy takes his 3rd win of the season, his 10th of his Formula E career. Nick De Vries makes it his 2nd podium finish of season 11 as well. And Wehrlein takes fastest lap and all-important points for Tag Heuer Porsche in the team's championship as well. Jake Dennis down there with a 5-second penalty is classified in 8th position, and Mitch Evans will be wondering what might have been after he is classified in 10th place. 5 red lights are on. It's time for the conundrum in London as we go green and go racing. Good start then from Cassidy, but even better from Günther on the inside of the front row. Here they go to the outside line in towards turn 1. Cassidy gets the whole shot, so it's the 2 Jaguars first and third as there's a crunch of carbon fibre in the middle. Stoffel Van Dorn in some dramas as we come through turns 3, 4 and 5, and we'll burst into the daylight for the first time. De Vries there having a look on the inside. Tictum is on the outside of Van Dorn for 5th position there as well. Now switches to the inside line as we come into the bottleneck section, and they're all threading the eye of a needle through there, but amazingly, unlike yesterday, they've all made it pretty cleanly through. Portara's in some dramas. He's dropped down to 22nd and looks to be out of the final race of the season. We saw his name dropping down the timing tower, and from 8th on the grid, it is going to be an unhappy end to the Swiss driver's race. Let's ride on board with the Swiss drivers. He started P8 on the grid.
But it already sounds like something's gone wrong. Yeah, he's lost drive already. And then he's got nowhere to go. Obviously, he's on the inside and gets pinched, but he's already had the problem off the line.
Here, 3 abreast down into turn 17. They want to make it through. They just about do as De Vries moves up.
Just let's focus on the race. I'm under Kashima.
Rowland's now up in the 3rd place.
Oh!
Contact with Nato. And Tictum there.
Yeah, not the first time that Tictum's given the blows. Yeah, he's going to thread the eye of a needle through both of them down into the custom house chicane. There's carbon fibre hanging off of of Nico Muller's car there. You can see part of the front wing is missing for him. Oh, look at this, side by side for the wall there for Rowland. He's into the wall, but he manages to keep it going. On board we ride with the reigning world champion, and somehow, despite all of the drama that unfolded in the space of 100 metres or so there, he manages to face in the right direction. and he's still attacking Nick de Vries for second.
I think he made contact with de Vries' car.
Yeah, he did.
The front wing.
Nato and the Neil McLaren of Taylor Barnard in some bother and out of the race. That's going to bring out the safety car if they can't get it going. And all the drivers that are in attack mode, so Roland, Gunter, Vern, Maloney and Nato, are going to be in some bother.
That's the most dangerous thing I've ever seen.
So we're coming over the rise. This is where the cars are going airborne through there. And de Vries on the inside. Roland, it's not a particularly massive touch, is it? Roland defending pretty aggressively here for de Vries, but the door's open on the inside, down into the first corner. De Vries decisively goes up into second. Let's see, though, what the difference is in speed here with Muller. Coming down to the end of his attack mode, makes the move on Roland, but he's up the inside again. Is Roland into turn one? He's in into the barrier. Face of, carbon fibre. The front wing's gone. Roland is out of the final race of the season in dramatic style, and Nico Muller looks like he's not going to be going much further there either. What a disappointing end to the World Champions race.
And that makes Porsche the team's champions.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
There's a good chance here that Evans could win this race.
No, 5-second time penalty has just been given for overspeeding under the full course yellow, though.
There's less of a chance that Evans could win this race.
And let's have a look at what happened then down to the first corner. So it's Muller on the left, Roland on the right. Outbrakes himself way too late, and
yeah. Don't know what to say.
Nissan have had a shocker, haven't they? I mean, the trouble for Jags in the team championship is
here we go.
See Evans
lunge to the inside at 17. So now it's Jaguars 1-2. How are they going to play this one on the pit wall?
I'm telling you, get the swap done, make the gap.
Yeah.
But then, of course, it'll be quite tricky to tell Nick he's got to give up a win.
Okay, Mitch, we are holding position behind Nick. We are holding position.
Oh, so they're not orchestrating a swap between the two.
Okay.
So how are they going to play this one then? Cassidy up 2% on energy over Evans at the moment. Evans has just finished his first attack mode, so it's even Stevens pretty much at the front, despite the energy offset.
If I follow the lights, I'm over-consuming. So I'll repeat it one more time. I may need his help for the penalty, and I need his tow. Yeah, understood. I helped him today. I helped him today. Yeah, I'm not going to get angrier, but my message is very clear. Okay, Nick is currently going for fastest lap, then he will drop back to help.
Right, okay, so that's the plan, yeah, and he has closed that sort of, closed the gap down, but he's gone back to 1:10 as Nick Cassidy last time around.
But he needs to be doing like 1:12 to come back.
Yeah, sure.
The point is Evans can't close the gap. Nick's got to drop back. So I'm perplexed by, I mean, today they're trying to get Cassidy the extra point for fastest lap, so I got that bit. But then he should immediately, having done a 1:07, which is 2 seconds faster than anybody else, just back it off.
We think it's possibly going to be 2 added laps in this race. Meanwhile, Sebastian Buemi's come through like an absolute storm. He started down in 19th on the grid here this afternoon. He's now up into 5th place, right on the back of Jake Dennis. He's having an absolute corker, and he's now going to move ahead of Dennis as we go down into the first corner. So Buemi in the Envision up through into 4th place. Could he sneak onto the podium in the final race of the season?
Because I am struggling, mate, and this is not cool. No, we understand. We are trying to make it happen. We are trying to make it happen. It is not happening at the moment, but we are trying to make it happen.
On the last lap, Cassidy's made 2.4 seconds on Evans. So, not sure that instruction's landing.
Jaguar had won the last 4 out of 5 races, make that the last 5 out of 6 races. Nick Cassidy does the double at his final weekend for Jaguar TCS Racing. It's Cassidy on top here in London to complete the 2025 Formula E season. It's a 1-2 across the line for Jaguar, but it will be Nick de Vries in second. Evans will drop down to 5th place in the final classifications. Round 16 concludes with Nick Cassidy making it a double here in London. 3 wins on the bounce for the Jaguar TCS racing driver, ahead of Nick de Vries. A double podium for him here in Britain as well, ahead of Sebastian Buemi on the rostrum for the 3rd time this season. Mitch Evans, of course, came over the line in 2nd place, but a 5-second time penalty means he is classified in 6th position. Further down the order, Pascal Wehrlein faded at the end of that one. Well, Oliver Rowland wrapped it up in Berlin a fortnight ago. Nick Cassidy, though, with a phenomenal weekend here in the UK, is up to 2nd place ahead of Pascal Wehrlein. Dennis and de Vries also moving up the order at the expense of Eduardo Mortara. Jeff Dodd, the CEO of Formula E, now awarding the 2nd of the trophies here to Florian Modlinger. The team principal, the figurehead of the Tag Heuer Porsche team, and the man who puts in so much work behind the scenes, as indeed do the whole outfit. And now, the biggest moment of them all, Alejandro Agag, the co-founder and chairman of Formula E, awards the World Championship trophy to Oliver Rowland.
To celebrate with Tattinger.
Now time to celebrate then, as the champagne is about to spray. Once more the confetti flies here in London. And it's time to run and take cover. So the celebrations, I'm sure, will go long into the night. Oliver Rowland, the Drivers' World Champion of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship here in London. Tag Heuer Porsche are the team's champions as well. And I'm sure the celebrations will go long into the night. What a season it has been in Formula E, and it all kicks off for season 12 at the start of December in Sao Paulo. I don't know about you, but I cannot wait to kick off racing once again.